Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the Two Dum Yinzers. This is our Monday night episode. This is actually episode 51. How you doing today, Mike?
I'm doing great, man. It was we're recording on a Saturday. It's a nice, beautiful day outside. I loved it.
You know what? I fucking hate this weather.
Well, yeah, the heat sucks. The heat can suck a big fat donkey dick.
I woke up and you know what? I wasn't even expecting this. I thought that it was going to be somewhere, I don't know, probably about 10 degrees cooler than what it actually is. And I woke up with a fucking headache because it was hot and I was sweating. And you know, to be honest, I hate the cold weather. I hate it a lot. But you know what? I hate this too.
Yeah, me too. This heat, I'm a big guy. Fuck this heat. I sweat. I'm just sitting there just sweating. I built a gazebo today, and put it on my back deck. There's no tree cover, so the sun's just beating down on me, and I'm fucking dying.
You know, that sucks because especially when you're out and you're doing things like that and, you know, and you get the sun. And not so much, well, I mean, yeah, I guess even today, but, you know, early on, especially since we haven't had sun in a while, the heat stays, it is retained within your flesh. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah, it's
Like when you go somewhere and you get a sunburn or you get a nice tan because you're in the sun all day, and then you go in and, you know, it's about 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're still so fucking hot because that heat is retained in your flesh.
Yeah.
You know, so that I don't know. That's polar opposites. There's one day, like literally out of the whole year, that's perfect for me, and it's when it's about 70 degrees.
70 degrees, sunny with a nice breeze.
Yeah, the breeze. You know, you're right. It has to be all these things have to line up, and it's like almost as rare as the 4 planets that lined up this week. That only happens once every 1,000 years. I can't even think of what they are. Uranus, and Uranus.
How did you know the title of my gay porn?
What, Uranus?
Yes. I told no one that, man. No one knows about that, how I paid for college.
Yeah.
And you just brought it up. That's kind of creepy, man.
Yes. You know, I don't know. I'm sick of this weather already. I'm ready for fall. And the good thing about fall is football. So, you know, I guess I'm not being too insane.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on this week, Mike. We have a lot going on. I want to talk about a couple things here. Okay. Well, a little bit of we're going to flash back last week. Last week, you recall, we had a story about the lizard that got gang raped by 4 guys.
Yeah.
Now, as I dove deeper into the story, it got even more bizarre.
Yes. Very bizarre.
Very bizarre. The 4 guys not only gang raped the lizard, they also killed the lizard, and then they ate the lizard.
Ate the lizard.
They ate the fucking lizard.
And not in a sexual way.
No, that would have been more acceptable. It's one of the monitors. The lizard is one of the monitors. Have you ever heard of those?
Yeah, a monitor lizard.
Yeah, so that's what
Monitor.
it was. It was one of them bigger lizards, and fuck off. And these guys, they gang raped. And okay, so you gang raped, you killed, you ate. At what point did the police catch you? At what point do you get busted? Because you've already, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're sitting around the fucking table eating the fucking monitor. I don't understand where the police get involved.
Like, did they post it online? Did they film it? Did they brag about it? Did they tell someone about it? And who are you telling? Where are you talking about this? Is
right.
What I want to know.
Because if you do, and you want to tell your friends, like, you literally probably have 3 or 4 guys within your circle that you would tell, and they were all there.
I was about to say, that was like my thing is, like, I'm reading this, and you know, after you told me about it, I was like, where do you find 3 other people that are into the same sick, perverse, let's rape and eat a monitor lizard together?
Yes.
That's like a very, like, select group, and it's weird that they are all in the same area.
Yeah, right. I really wish that I could have got more information. I mean, that was really all the information I got. The story was real short, and it got to the point, and that was it. There was not really much else to it. But I'm very curious to know. Now, my big question is, for what amount of money, Mike, would you fuck, kill, and eat a lizard? There's got to be a number.
I
I do it for $100,000.
Wow, that cheap?
That yes,
That's really cheap.
yeah.
I was going to say at least 10 mil.
10 mil?
Tax free. It has to be tax free.
Well, yeah. Mine will be tax free as well.
10 mil.
Maybe $500,000 for me. But
Like if Jeff Bezos showed up and he threw down 10 mil cash free
yeah,
and had a monitor listed there, he goes, you got to bang it,
bang it, kill it, eat it.
kill it, eat it.
Yeah.
My only question is, how much of it do I have to eat? Is this like,
Just enough.
Just enough? Okay. Yeah, 10 mil.
I'm gonna come right back. There's so much to have to say about
Come
this
back.
topic, but I seen a video yesterday online, and these guys, it was a foreign country. I don't even know where they were, but they took this stingray, and at first when you see the video, it says, "Would you eat this stingray?" So I thought, you know what, this is going to be interesting. Let's check it out. So these guys, they had this big stingray, and it was probably, I don't know, if you put your arms both out to, stick them out to the side like you're making wings,
Yeah.
and then bring it in just a little bit. It was a big stingray.
Okay.
So they start chopping the wings off, like the sides of the stingray, and then they start cutting them into littler pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started just adding all these different things, like things that you would imagine would be added in a foreign third world country. And not in a weird way. It was like, instead of, like how we would take salt and put salt in, like they reached their hand in a bucket and just grabbed this big handful of salt, and then they threw it in. But it looked all chunky and shit. Everything looked real third world.
So it means that it's probably going to taste bomb.
It's probably, you know what, and that's the thing. So they kept adding all this stuff, and as they're going, this fucking stingray that you see at the very beginning of the video is starting to look really appetizing, because they've added so much stuff in there, they put it on a fire, and then after a while they remove it from the fire, they put another big pan on the fire, and they start throwing all this stuff in again, and all this different stuff, and then they come back with the stingray and dump it into the seasoning.
Okay.
It looked really good, because when the guy started eating it, it was nothing more than fish flaky kind of food. You know what I mean? Like when
Yeah.
they take it and open it, it would look just like as if you were eating a piece of fish. So I would certainly like to try that, especially with all the different flavors and things that they did with the stingray. I guess don't knock it till you try it.
And it's like every once in a while, I'll get on YouTube and I'll watch the like cooking videos, and they're like people from other countries, and they have like the local ingredients. Like you were saying, like the salt looks grainier. It looks like that more natural, and that stuff. Oh my, it's got to taste better than that processed stuff we get at the
Yes.
store.
That's what we
and
got to remember.
spices.
Everything we get is processed.
Yeah, if they're out, like say if they're out in their village and stuff, and they get stuff from around them, that stuff's got to taste so good.
So let me ask you now.
So yeah, if they were cooking my freshly raped monitor lizard, yeah, I'd pound down on that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So if you were eating your monitor and Jeff Bezos was here, how would you prepare your monitor to eat it? Is there anything that you would specifically put into it? I think that I would definitely use hot sauce. You put hot sauce in it, that kind of takes away from the thought that it's a lizard.
Here's what I would do. I would take. I need some white rice.
They had rice.
Yeah, I'd get some like the red kidney beans.
Yeah.
Some nice chopped onions. Chop that up really good. Throw it in there. Some garlic, and maybe a little like either General Tso's or the Yum Yum sauce. Probably
Yes.
General Tso's if we had that little kick to it.
That sounds fucking awesome.
I'd eat that.
I'd eat lizard right now if you had it just like that.
Yeah.
But these people fucked it,
Yeah.
Would you eat something that you fucked? You know what I mean? There's guys that kill their girlfriends, but I don't know. Like Jeffrey Dahmer, he fucked these guys and then he ate them.
Yeah, I no.
I think that puts you in a whole different. That puts you in a
Yeah,
whole
I
different
couldn't.
category.
No, yeah.
Once you,
Well, for $10 million tax free, yeah, I would.
I think that once you fuck something, it should be off limits to eating. You know what I mean?
Why do you think my dog's still alive? And why do you think I go through so much peanut butter?
But rest in peace, that poor lizard. I got word that the phone call that we got last week was a friend of the lizard.
Oh, so he was posing as.
He was posing as.
He was just trying to get some clout.
He was trying to get a little airtime. He was a little narcissistic. So
Yeah,
it's all good. He lost a good friend.
he did too. So I'll let that slide.
Yes, yeah. Oh, it's so hot. Um, okay, so for anybody, no, you know what? Let me come back to that. What about Mike Tyson?
That guy right there, who got his ass whooped. That is he's the new poster child for fuck around and find out. Cause not Tyson, what he posed like before all the shit went down. You know, Tyson was cool. You know, he gave a selfie, signed something for the guy. Like, hey, cool, over and done with. Then this guy, and it was like the second video to come out. The first video, all you see is Tyson whooping his ass.
Yeah, that's all I seen.
And then the second video that came out was the leading up to that of this guy just leaning up over his chair, talking like saying stupid shit to Mike.
Who does that?
A fucking idiot.
You know, I'm thinking that maybe he was kind of thinking along the lines that I've been thinking of Tyson because, you know, I've just been under the impression that he's been, you know, well medicated. He's been smoking weed. He's, you know, keeping himself calm and cool and out of the headline.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what this guy thought going into the situation as well. It's like, hey, Mike Tyson's really mellowed out. I am going to be a badass and try to punk down Mike Tyson. But boy, was that the wrong thing to do.
That was the wrong thing to do. Let me pick on the former heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
Still one of the baddest men walking the planet.
It looked like Mike Tyson kicking my ass on Tyson's Punch-Out when I was a little Mac.
Yeah.
You know,
right?
That's what that footage
Yeah.
looked like.
Apparently this dude though that Tyson beat up, he has like a track record of criminal stuff and shit.
Really?
Too. Yeah. I like people that were trying to get sympathy for this guy. Like I'm not like, you know, the biggest, you know, if someone's annoying you, if you have to punch them in the mouth, that just shows that you can't annoy them back. You don't have the smarts for it.
Right.
But in that situation, that's not someone just trash talking you. That's someone like getting up in your personal space.
Right.
And just annoying the fuck out of you. So yeah, Tyson had every right to this. At that point, that's when anyone has the right to put hands on someone. Like, you're not backing up. You're just getting in my face to be annoying. Words aren't going to solve it.
I just think to myself, you know, these people, they have to be trying to make a name for themselves.
Yeah, he's trying to. He's gonna lose a criminal case, but he's gonna try and win like a civil case for damages.
Because anybody who messes with these pro athletes, I mean, these guys are strong. This is all that these guys have done, because you figure they were all superb, you know, athletes growing up and through their teen years, and then, you know, a lot of these guys like football players, you go to college and they step it up, and you have to, you know, work on your body and work on your, you know, your strength and things like that. That's all these guys do. So if you're messing with them, you either really think that you're a badass, or you're just trying to get some attention on yourself, because I don't know why anybody would mess with any of these guys.
They're stupid.
Even the punter, McAfee, you know what I mean? The guy was a punter for fuck's sake, but I wouldn't mess with him.
I'd fuck with McAfee.
Did you see him sticking them guys like they would show footage of him, like, you know, making tackles?
Yeah.
I mean, he made tackles. Punters.
Actually, yeah, he's kind of in shape for a punter.
He's a little
I
beast,
take that
man.
back. Yeah.
And you know, he took a stone cold stunner, and
Come on, Vince McMahon took a stone cold stunner. That's not saying much. The worst fucking stunner I ever saw.
Vinny's was 70-something years old.
You're right.
But he, I don't know if I would mess with. I Mason Rudolph, I probably would.
I'd feel bad messing with Mason.
I'd like tug on his ears and shit.
Yeah,
know? Like stuff that you would do to somebody when you're in like junior high.
Yeah.
And it was like a kid who was kind of nerdy in front of you.
Poor guy's never done anything to anyone, and this whole town fucking hates him.
I know. I'd hang like shit from his ear, like one of them things, them clothes clips, them clothes line. I'd hang them from his ears from behind and shit when he wasn't looking.
The clothespin clip.
Yeah. But I don't get these guys that want to mess around with these pro athletes.
They're probably looking for that settlement money.
Yeah. I mean, you see what they do to their wives.
Right?
Their
Wives
girlfriends.
yep.
Yeah, I don't want them smacking me around
Fuck
like
that shit. Like, I can't take a hit.
No, not especially like that. When I seen Ray Rice hit his girl in that elevator,
fuck yeah,
I couldn't take that hit.
No, fuck no. Not many people in the world could have.
No.
Fucking,
I'd still be fucking complaining.
I know, right? Fuck, more power to her, man. She rebounded like a champ.
Yeah, she did. Well,
fuck Ray Rice.
Tell me a little bit about this. I see this going on, but I just refuse to really look into it and see what's going on. What's going on with Johnny Depp and that chick? What's that all about?
Well, I know this has been going on for years. They're both fucking crazy, but I think like she might be like the crazy, like she took a shit in his bed. Apparently she like abused him, like cut off like part of his finger or some shit.
Maybe that's why he's so weird.
Well, he was weird to begin with. I don't know, like if he like if they both abused each other or she abused him. I know she got him fired from Disney for like alleged abuse, but I don't think it was ever proved that he abused her. But like, yeah, she's a fucking psycho. She's hot as fuck, but she's fucking psycho.
Can you imagine living in that house with those two?
Oh, fuck that shit.
All I could picture is, have you ever seen the movie Benny and June, I think it was called? It's an older movie, I think from the 80s. And this guy and this girl, the girl is kind of slow-witted or something wrong with her. And through the whole movie, she's seeing Johnny Depp's character, and he's like doing all these weird and crazy things. And the whole time you're wondering, is this person like in her imagination? Yeah. And that character is what I always think of anytime I think of Johnny Depp. And and there's the one point where he had these two breadsticks, and he's walking across a table like their legs.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yep.
And anytime I hear anything crazy about him, that's where my mind goes. I see him walking across the table with those breadsticks.
Well, all I can picture is like a cross between Edward Scissorhand and Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah. And here's the thing to me. I don't really think that this guy is amazingly attractive. He kind of has a weird look to him. And a lot of people you talk to, oh my God, Johnny Depp. Is it just because he's kind of bizarre? Is that why chicks dig him?
Yeah.
Because he's an ugly dude. He is. I mean,
he hasn't aged well at all.
No.
Like when he was younger, he was a good-looking guy. He hasn't aged well.
He has a face like a cartoon character. You know what I mean? Like he's not real.
Well, he still drinks and smokes like he's fucking young.
Does he really?
Yeah, he's like $10,000 a day on wine or some shit I was reading.
Oh, jeez.
Or he would just like drink $10,000 bottles of wine just for the fuck of it or some shit. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I just know those two are fucking psycho, and I think she was like the one who was in the wrong in the whole thing.
Really?
I could be, yeah. I don't want to like say either way because I really haven't been paying attention, but
you know whose significant other kind of weirds me out? Elon Musk's Grimes. Her name is Grimes.
Yeah.
She only goes by Grimes. Anytime they talk about this person, they say, and Elon Musk's girlfriend Grimes,
that's her stage name.
Yeah, and she only goes by Grimes.
Yeah, a lot of artists do that. It's not that weird.
Like Ice Cube, but she's not Ice Cube. You know what I mean?
No, but apparently like people like know her.
Yeah, really?
I don't know who the fuck she is.
I'm gonna start following her. I want to learn more about Grimes. Anybody that just goes by Grimes is worth our attention, I think.
I think I'm just gonna go by my last name.
You're?
Yeah, just call me Muller from now on.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like one of those European, like one of the Brazilians who plays over in Europe because they can never pronounce their names. They just always say they just pick one name that the Europeans can pronounce, and that's what they go with. Like Pele. Pele, that's not just Pele. Pele has like a full name.
Yeah.
It's in Portuguese. It's a beautiful name, but
nobody knows what
Pele.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to be like that. I want to be like that guy.
I do want to. There's a little bit of a spoiler, Mike. Speaking of Brazil, Europe, these different places, we added a new country this week of people that listen to our show.
Oh, who did we get?
Malaysia.
No way.
We added Malaysia. Yes, sir. I wanted to tell you. I was going to tell you the other day. I forgot. I was like, you know what? We'll do it on the air. We welcome Malaysia. Welcome, Malaysia.
Welcome.
So that's exciting.
We're worldwide. I love it.
We're nearing about 20 different countries. If you go through there, I think
awesome.
It's almost 20 different places. So a lot of good stuff going on there. We only have one more Throwback Thursday left.
Yes, we do. One more.
So here in a few days after we finish up, which is going to be our very last episode from the first season, which was Jump Off JD and Cigarillos, if you recall. So we're going to play that for you this week, but next week we're going a whole different direction, aren't we?
Yes, we are. We're still going to be 5 days starting next week.
Yes. We're going to be 5 days. Why don't you tell? We got a lot of new stuff coming forward here, and like I said, we're going to be making a change. It's spring. We have new things coming. Shedding the old. All that kind of shit. We have a lot of new stuff coming for you. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about that, Mike?
All right. So starting Monday, with our this episode that you're going to be listening to, head on over to dumyinzers.com. That is the number 2, DUMYINZERS.com, dumyinzers.com. And on there you'll find all the episodes that we have uploaded through YouTube and through our Anchor feed will all be on there. And also on there too, the very excited to announce we have merchandise now.
Yes.
We have merchandise. That the new logo that we premiered last week, it is now available.
I just want to say this real quick. I'm cutting Mike off. I am the first in line to buy merchandise from the store. Once you see the merchandise that he's talking about, you are going to want some as well. I seen a few things so far they had showed us, and I've already got my Christmas list ready.
Yeah, and on that merchandise, it's the logo that you saw, the fist coming up from the ground holding the microphone. It's underneath says two Dum Yinzers. There's 3 different designs on there as well that you can choose from. It covers a bunch of different merchandise. There's a link on the Two Dum Yinzers website, so twodumyinzers.com. Click on the merchandise tab and it'll take you directly to the website. Or if you want to, you can go to 2, as in the number 2, dash dum, DUM, dash Yinzers, YINZERS, .myspreadshop.com. So once again, that is 2dumyinzers .myspreadshop.com, where you can find all your 2 Dum Yinzers merchandise.
Mike, you should really do one of those infomercials. When I hear you on the microphone saying number 2, I don't know. There's just something about an infomercial about poop that just keeps popping in my head.
Hey, when you need to take a number 2, be sure to get your squatty potty.
What's the guy there that everyone from the left hates now? The pillow guy. What's
everyone from the left? That's like everyone hates Mike Lindell now. Yeah,
Mike Lindell, because he was Trump's buddy, right? And,
even like a lot, like you've noticed. Like I've noticed, like I have like friends that are Republicans. They're like, this guy's fucking out there.
Yeah, he's out there. There's 2 ways about it.
Sad thing is though, I do have the MyPillow, and I actually like the MyPillow.
It seems very comfortable. He seems like a fucking jagoff, but the pillow itself seems amazing.
Just as an aside to this MyPillow story, when I used to work at Kohl's, I was helping this older lady. She was looking for a pillow, like a memory foam pillow. I'm like, hey, you should take a look at these MyPillows. I was like, I have them personally, so I like them. She's like, okay, cool. She's looking at them. She's like, oh, I don't know. This guy has he has his cross on there. She's like, and I'm very Christian too. And I think that's like him saying, like, if you don't buy this, you're not a true Christian. So therefore, I'm not going to buy his pillow.
Interesting.
I was like, that is a very interesting take, and I never thought of that.
Right.
And she was like, I keep my religion private, so if I have a business, I want to put that out there because I would like to have everyone come in. I wouldn't want to feel any other way. I was like, it's just a weird perspective that I've never heard anyone else say since.
Yeah, I mean,
it was just a weird thing. I don't mean to go religious, political on us, but it was just a little aside there.
That's very interesting, Mike. It's a very, very, very interesting and a very good point, in my opinion, because when you are doing anything with the public and you're in the public eye, like Mike Lindell is, you have to work both sides of the table, and by restricting yourself to half the audience,
you kind of screw yourself.
Right. I mean, it's just like, how many people would love to hear you getting on the radio, on the podcast, and talking about fucking a dog? But on the other hand,
I don't want to alienate the non-dog fuckers.
The non-dog fuckers would be alienated, and so that's a good example.
But anyway, back to our website. I'm sorry to go off on a rant there, but no, check it out. twodumyinzers.com, and we'll have all of our episodes will be up there on YouTube form, on regular old podcast form. There's a blog on there too, and I will be blogging daily.
Oh, good.
Yeah. What comes through my mind, I do not know, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yeah. Mike, a couple things here. We got a show to promote, okay?
Okay.
We just recently, on last Friday, they had the big party up in Katanning.
Yeah.
The spring break with Bambino and the crew up there with the Splash Gang, and also there's been quite a few things going on lately. So here's a new one. There's a new show that we have to promote, okay?
All right.
So this is going to be April 29th. April 29th, next week, we have Hit 'em Hard Presents. And this is going to be April 29th at 13 West Chestnut Street, Washington, PA. So it's going to be back down there in Washington.
Oh, cool.
Okay? So it's promoted as this. It says, Hit 'em Hard presents The Young, Fly, Flashy, Reloaded. So I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't know if that's the right delivery. I'm sure it's not. But Hit 'em Hard presents The Young, Fly, Flashy, Reloaded show. It's $10 to get in. It's going to be from 8 to 12, April 29th. Next, I don't even fucking know. What day is this? Yeah, next week.
Yeah, next week.
And that's it down in Washington, PA, 13 West Chestnut Street, Washington, PA. You know the place. These guys are down there quite often. Get down there, check them out. What I want to do, Mike, we have so much stuff to go over here. Let's go ahead and take a break. We come back, we'll pick right back up where we left off, okay?
All right.
All right, we'll be back right after this. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to our Monday show. This is episode 51. 51. That was my football number back when I was in 8th grade.
Mine was 69.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was just given to me. I did not ask for it.
You lucky fucker.
Yes.
I always wondered how the guy got 69 got that number.
Is luck of the draw.
Yeah. Yeah, 51. 51 was my number. So speaking of football, Mike.
Yes.
What do you make? Okay, so now there's a whole lot of stuff going on, and I really dig this because now that the NFL, I mean, we have the draft obviously coming up here in another week or so, but we also have the USFL, which is being played down in Alabama right now. We have the Fan League, which has the likes of Terrell Owens, Manziel, guys like that, and also a lot of talk of the XFL. So I mean, there's a whole lot of football going on. But I want to start off with the Maulers, the Pittsburgh Maulers. We have a team that was here in the 80s, early to mid-80s, called the Pittsburgh Maulers, and they are back. They're back after, how many ever fucking years, 100 years ago. And they are playing in this USFL, which all the games are played down in Alabama this year. But if the league survives, then these teams will come back to their home cities.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Maulers, Tampa Bay Bandits were another one that I recall that I can remember from back then. Now, the story that kind of is intriguing to me is the did you catch the guy who got cut from the Maulers for what he ordered to eat?
Yes.
So this player, do you know it in detail by chance? Because I don't know it in detail. I kind of know the gist of it.
So they put out on social media that, they had a meeting with the player, the coach, and a couple other coaches. And, he ordered a pizza for lunch. They wanted him to get a chicken salad, so they cut him.
So who is the they? The team?
The team. The coaches and them. They were like, "Hey, you're gone."
Could you? Do you know anything about that?
No. Well, then it came out people were outraged out about it on Twitter. Why would you cut a guy over? You got a pizza instead of a chicken salad.
Yeah.
Then to cover their ass, they released a statement. It's "Oh, he was rude to a cafeteria worker. He was just being disruptive, so that's why we cut him." Then he comes out. It's like, that didn't happen. Why are you lying on my name? So it's they put out this whole video. They did it on a video too, and they released the video of them cutting him because he ordered that pizza. Then after they got backlash saying, "Oh no, he was rude to someone, so that's why we cut him."
The thing to me is, you can't just eat anybody's chicken salad.
Exactly. I don't care. If it's a chicken salad sandwich or an actual chicken salad with lettuce, tomato, chicken. It has both of them have to be made.
Yeah,
to your liking to eat them.
Because for one, the chicken salad itself, the chicken salad, it's the salad with chicken on it. You have to like the particular chicken that's on it. Otherwise, because sometimes you get you get a bite that's real rubbery.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. So, I mean, that's one thing. And if you get the chicken salad, sometimes you get the same thing. There's just something about, certain chicken that's just, you get certain bites and there's something. Yeah. Once I get that bad bite, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't enjoy anything chicken for the next week. I don't understand, and I can't even begin to understand how they let this guy go over a fucking pizza.
I think,
who don't love pizza?
Yeah. I think they were just trying to find any reason to cut this guy or to just cut someone to show that, hey, we can do this, we control you. You couldn't make it in the NFL, so you're here and you have to do what we say, or otherwise you don't get to live your dream of football.
What a shitty thing.
That's just my interpretation of it. Because anytime someone in authority does something like that, you're just showing that, oh, I have power over you, so I can do this, so fuck you, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. I
was because it kept changing, the Mahler story kept changing over and over.
Yeah, right. If I was him, I'd go to the Fan League. I'd go play over in the Fan League with T.O. and Johnny Manziel and them guys.
Hell yeah.
I don't know much about the Fan League. I just kind of seen a little bit the other day.
It's where the fans
pick a play. Yeah. I'd have like Johnny Manziel sticking shit up his ass, and
Yeah, I don't think that. For someone who hates anal a lot, you're all about sticking stuff up people's asses.
Speaking of which, I saw a video yesterday, Mike. This Asian girl, she kept looking out this window. It was almost like glass windows that you'd see at a store. Okay, like okay. So, but it was a door. It was a door with a big glass window in it. And she kept like looking out like she was up to something, and she was looking at somebody outside. So then she goes up to the door and she squats in front of it like she's still facing you.
Yeah.
Well, what she was doing is she was locking something on a piece of the door, and she jumped forward, and 10 anal beads shoots out of her ass. I kid you not.
That is disgusting. That is disgusting. Where did you see this? Where can one find where can one find this?
Don't worry, I got it saved. I'll send it over to you.
Okay.
But yeah, she throws herself forward onto the floor, and as she does it, you just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All these fucking big ass anal balls just popping out of her ass at one time. But she had like a dress on, so you didn't know what was going on until you're like looking at it. You're thinking, what the fuck's going on? And it was it was anal beads. It was big fucking anal beads. And she was just this little Asian lady.
Oh. Yeah, I need names. I need contact info. She sounds fun.
She looked fun.
Oh Jesus.
We have guys. We had so much stuff here. Okay, so next week, Mike, we have guests coming in. We're talking to people from the new Bigfoot the movie.
Oh, they're coming next week.
The sequel.
Right.
But we are running out of time because the 10th is the premiere of the show.
Yeah.
So just depending on the weeks, I'm still talking to them. I'm trying to figure out what day's going to work the best. So we do have actors coming from that show, from that movie, I'm sorry. And you're going to want to go check out their website right now. It's at bigfootthemovie.com, bigfootthemovie.com. And you could pre-order the new Bigfoot the movie, the sequel. Right now, it's up for pre-sale. Also, there is the original Bigfoot the movie on there. You can get that. You can get plenty of merchandise, all that stuff on the website. Go check them out, bigfootthemovie.com. But yeah, also the XFL. Now, you got guys. You have Hines Ward. Who was the other Steeler? There was two.
Rod Woodson. Are they in the XFL or the USFL?
They are the XFL.
Oh, Rod Woodson and Hines Ward.
Which is very awesome because we got these two guys that played for Pittsburgh. So that's going to be exciting. I like the so you have the USFL, you have the Fan League, you have the XFL, you have the Lingerie League, with the girls.
Yep.
I almost like this as much as football season. So I like.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I like it.
I do too. I really do, and I mean these are all interesting in their own ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
these
different leagues. Obviously the skill level's not going to be up there with the
right.
NFL, but that last season that the XFL came back when they relaunched before the pandemic shut everything out, the games were actually fun to watch. They were good games.
They were
good games. It's like it wasn't going to be like a league to compete against the NFL, but it would be a nice option to watch during the spring of like, hey, I want to watch some football. NFL's over. We don't have the draft. College is still a ways away. Let's watch this. And they were some good games. I watched a handful of games, and they were fun to watch.
You know what? I was really getting into it as well. It was like that coronavirus came and just fucked everything all up, man.
Yeah, but then the league ended up folding again because like Vince McMahon and his business partner were feuding back and forth, so that kind of folded. But now it's coming back. So
and you have The Rock. The Rock's in the control now. So
yeah, well we'll see how Dwayne does.
Yeah, if anybody, if there's anybody that everybody likes, it's The Rock.
Yeah, if you don't like The Rock, there's something wrong with you.
And until he smacks his fucking wife, because everybody was all on the Will Smith. You know what? From the time Will Smith played Fresh Prince of Bel-Air until this incident. Could you really tell me more than 5 people
I think people, the guy? It was happening. People were starting to fall off the Will Smith bandwagon the past couple of years. Yeah,
he was always just so what's the word? He was just such a non-threat as a person, non-threatening. Yeah. And I think that if he was a black guy, if he was a white guy, if he was a white woman, if he was a black woman, if he was Asian, if he was Mexican, there wasn't anybody that didn't like this person. He was entertaining. Yeah. He was. You really felt. I don't know. Like I said, there was just no threat with this guy.
But I think like people started to like lose it, like when he started like putting his kids in movies, like his son in a couple of the movies that he was with and couldn't act, and they were just terrible movies, and people like started to fall off the bandwagon there.
I think that he just went about it the wrong way.
I think he's just fucking crazy.
It could have worked, but the way that he did it,
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, it's fuck.
It was yeah.
Fuck him. But yeah, The Rock's the man.
The Rock is the man. Yeah, like you said, if Dwayne Johnson can't do it, nobody can. So
right.
So we have the Maulers, the Fan League, the XFL, a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff. If you can't get your football fix, there's something wrong with you.
Oh, you're right. And then plus all the free agency that's going on, the trades, all that stuff,
It does not stop.
I love it.
I can't get enough. The thing that I hate, though, is that time between the combine, pro days, into the draft where people just start making up these weird scenarios. Pretty soon you're going to start reading articles where the Steelers are going to trade up to number 1.
Yeah, right.
It's like last I saw, like, they're going to trade up to the top 10 to get the player they want.
Yes.
It's like, they're going to trade back into the first round. It's like you're just creating stuff to.
I think when they signed Edmonds yesterday, I think that really showed a hand, because a lot of people wanted the Honey Badger.
Yeah.
And I think that he would have cost more money, and he wanted more than a year, and I think that this shows a hand that they're going to spend that money that they have on the offense.
Yeah.
I think they're done with the defense right now, unless like they pick somebody up in the draft, which the defensive lineman, maybe that guy from Georgia, a few things like that would work.
Yeah.
But I think that they're going to turn their focus to the offense, maybe the quarterback situation.
I think quarterback's set. If anything, they'll pick up someone like Drew Rosen for like that number 3, number 4 guy, and they'll get an undrafted free agent quarterback.
So we don't even have a number 2. You know what I mean?
No, it's. I'm sorry. It's going to be Mitch, and then Mason, and then someone like Drew Rosen, and then undrafted rookie free agent.
Let's say we were all pumped up. We're all hyped up. This team's looking really good. The defense comes out in the first game and shuts the team out. And then we come out in the second game. Everyone's excited. They're already buying their playoff tickets. And Mitch Trubisky gets hit and blows his fucking knee out in the second week. And we have all this going for us, and we have to turn to Mason Rudolph. I'd fucking blow my brains out.
You know what? I would too, but if this defense is what they think they are and what the fans think they are, that defense should be able to carry them.
Did you see that TJ Watt is already almost to the most sacks in Steeler history?
Yeah. That's crazy.
That is crazy. I can't even believe like them other guys are at the top, like Harrison and Gilden and all them guys. Yeah. He is already almost caught up to them guys.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
One thing he'll never catch them with, though, is playoff wins.
Yeah, well, it just all depends on where this team goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we can put something together where we can make some serious runs.
You know what? He's making all that money. He needs to do this. It needs to stop being like when Troy would make a big play. A lot of the fans became, okay, that's Troy making a big play. But every time Watt does anything, everyone's like, oh my God, it's like the greatest thing ever. It's like, yeah, that's cool. He's making $120 million. He needs to do this stuff game in, game out.
And he does. And the thing is, I mean, the guy played X amount of less games than the other leaders in the league last year, and he still had more.
He needs to play those games.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's the nature of the league. You know what I mean? So give him another chance, Mike. Give him another year or two, and you're going to see that this guy's probably going to be one of the better defenders that the league has seen in a long time.
I hope he does, but
I think that you've been a little biased against him, and rightfully so. I mean, you just don't know what you have, especially on a defense like the Steelers. It's very historically.
I'm sorry, like with him and Cam the Sham, they have 0 career playoff wins. They disappear in the playoffs. This game against Kansas City, they performed for a half, and then they were gone.
I tell you what, that Kansas City game was a total disaster. But if you bring in Miles Jack, and you bring in this, and you bring in, I think you're going to start to see, whenever Watt had to bring the other side.
They're damn good players, and I want them to do well because I want my team to do well. But I think a lot of the times, like when the defense goes bad, they're the ones that you can see like they disappear in games, and when they disappear, it's like it's over, and you can't have that.
Like Barry Bonds in the playoffs for the Pirates back in the early '90s, the guy was the most amazing player ever, and playoffs would come, and the guy just fucking choked. You can't be the star of your team and choke when it comes down to it. That's what makes a star. And what separates you from everyone else. You have to be able to perform when it's on the line.
And like a lot of the times so far in big game situations, in the playoffs, TJ Watt and Cam Hayward have not have not done that,
I think you're going to see,
and that's a fact.
I think it's going to change. Like I said, I think it's going to change. I think bringing Miles Jack,
Yeah.
and then also having a Bush healthy,
Yeah.
and you're bringing in some different. I think you're going to see a little bit of a difference this year. I think if we get to the playoffs, we might win a game this year. We're doing a lot of good things as far as rebuilding this team.
Yeah.
I think the quarterback and the receivers are my Achilles heel on this team right now.
Deontay Johnson, I'm sorry, people were saying, oh, he only had 7 drops. That's not as high as it was, and for the league, that's kind of low. But his 7 drops all came in the last 7 games, including the playoffs, and they were key drops. It's not about the number. It's about the situation, and he tends to drop them in the clutch.
My thing about any of these receivers that's been on the team for the past 2-3 years is I'll always go back to last season when everybody forgot how to catch a football.
The past 2 years, clang, clang, clang.
You know what I mean? And it's going to be very hard for me to accept Deontay Johnson as a top elite receiver, which they're trying to put him as. They have him as number 10 in the league as far as top receivers.
Well, he has the talent. He has the ability, but it's those key drops in key situations at the end of the year.
Yes, and those are the things that you need to do if you're a number 1.
Yeah.
You need to do. You could be a guy that has half the talent as him, but if you're making that big catch in those situations, you're in my opinion, your stock is way up because you need to make those plays.
Yeah. You can have your drops early in the season. But when it comes time to that latter half of the year in the playoffs, you got to hold on to the ball.
When you're playing in Florida, week 1, and they have you wearing your black jerseys because it's hot as fuck down there, and you drop some passes, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're in Jacksonville, or we're in Miami.
That shit happens.
That shit happens. But when it's December, when it's January, and everything is on the line, and you're still dropping passes,
that's when I have an issue.
Being especially because you're making millions of dollars to catch a football, to do something you've done your whole entire life very well. And you just shit the bed at the wrong time.
Yeah.
That is to me what separates the greats from the good, and that's why
right now he's at that good level, ready to. He's on the cusp of becoming one of the best receivers in the league. Because his route running is great.
Yeah,
everything when he catches, he can make some unbelievable catches. It's just that at crunch time is when I don't think he chokes. I think it just. The shit happens for him at the wrong time. It
just eludes him.
Yeah, it's like he wants to make the catch. He wants to do it. It just, boom, it happens.
Yeah.
Because, dude, that's
the story of my life, the brain fart.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's not like, I'm not saying he's not mentally tough. Dude is, because he saw what was wrong with his game. He improved it. It just seems like at the end of the year, it just, like that latter half of the year, it just tends to go away. And he's unbelievably conditioned. You see the dude's fucking ripped. Dude's in shape. It's just, I don't know. It's just some players at the end of the year, it just happens.
Here's one, Mike. I seen it was a tongue-in-cheek article. Deshaun Watson wins the Super Bowl with Cleveland. Does he become one of the best quarterbacks ever?
No.
And I agree.
No,
but it's a funny thought. You think about it.
And that's just like the league now. Anytime anyone wins something, they're greatest all time. Like Joe Flacco won 1 Super Bowl. Oh my God, he's elite. He had one hell of a playoff run. Doesn't mean you're elite.
Joe Flacco is one of the most unelite quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life.
He had a window there where he was really good, but I wouldn't put him in that elite category.
You know what? I don't even remember him being really good. I remember a really good defense. I remember, a pretty damn good team over in Baltimore. In those plays, recall that, just think of, the corner of the end zone, him bombing it down there. A lot of those were just jump balls. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like the play action and shit like that. Yeah. But, hey, he still made those throws. I'll give him that. But
and he had Ray Wright. I mean, that was a really damn good team. And Ray Lewis on the other side of the ball. Speaking of Ravens, we signed Boykin.
Yeah.
Miles
Boykin.
Boykin.
Yeah.
Now, tell me a little bit about him, Mike. I mean, I remember him. He wasn't that great. I remember he didn't really get as much playing time.
Turns out he hasn't been in the league as long as we thought.
Right.
He's only been in the league a few years.
Right.
So he's like, 6'4", 220, runs like a 4.4, 4.3 area. It's a good flyer to take,
So we have Deontay Johnson, we have Claypool, we have Boykin, and the white fella, the guy from New England. So those
we actually have Cody White as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have Cody White and then your white
And
fella,
then the white guy.
Hunter, whatever.
Yes. And then Fryermuth. I think, you know what? Fryermuth, they're not putting him in the top tight end categories, which is okay because it's only
His rookie year, second year he's in.
But I think he's going to have an amazing season. And the receiver that I think is going to have an amazing season, if they keep their head on straight, is Claypool. This kid has all the potential in the world. He's one of these guys that just needs to fucking focus. He needs to get his fucking head in the game, focus for 60 fucking minutes, and he can be one of the best players on that field.
And I think now with Juju gone, Claypool will. Hopefully that will be the wake-up call for him. Like, look, we got rid of Juju, and he did all those, social media stuff. So, hey, if we got rid of him, we can get rid of you if you don't perform. So hopefully that just kind of gets him into the mold of, like, hey, let me get this seriously, because he does have all the talent in the world. Dude's a freak.
The guy could be the number one receiver on this team.
Yeah.
Easy.
Like, in that first week, he showed against Buffalo that he could be the number one receiver.
Yes.
He could be it.
That was a win. We won that week, guys. Week 1 against the Buffalo Bills. If you recall, we won that game.
Yeah, and that, like, Ben's arm was looking good. Everyone was looking good. Then after that, we shot the bed. I think that was like all Ben's arm had left was that one game.
Yes.
But you know what? Hey, NFL draft is this Thursday, 28th, 29th, and 30th.
Who are the Steelers going to pick first, Mike?
With the 20th overall pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers will select, if he's available, according to every mock draft, one of the following: Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, Desmond Riddler, the big fat D lineman from Georgia.
I like him.
Me too. I forget his name, and he's not fat. Dude's fucking jacked.
Yeah.
The other defensive lineman from Georgia, I forget his name.
We should definitely be able to get at least one of them if that's our goal.
The strong safety from Notre Dame, Klein. Strong safety from Penn State, Brisker.
Yeah.
I've seen Jahan Dotson from Penn State, the wide receiver in the first round. I've also seen him in the second round. There's a lot of positions, but I think they will, if they're smart. If one of the better interior D linemen are there, you take one.
Yeah, especially one of them guys from Georgia, huh?
Yeah, both of them.
Man.
Because, and if, and you don't have to use them like in that old Casey Hampton role of like they're only going to play 2 downs. If they can play all 3 downs, move them inside, outside, that'd be great.
Yes.
So they don't have to come off the field.
Absolutely.
And that would help too with the rotation too, with Tuitt, Hayward, Alulalu coming back, and then you have Loudermouth coming along in the mix. You get one of those big studs in the first round. That's just going to make that D-line better. And in this defense, in the 3-4, you need a strong defensive line.
I was just reading that bringing what's-her-face, what the hell's the cornerback that we just released?
Hayden back.
I just heard it. Yeah, there's a possibility with that Hayden's not out of the question.
Yeah, so that wouldn't be a bad mix. Get him back. I also forgot to mention Chris Wormley on the D-line. He had 7 sacks last year.
Yeah.
I just read that before he came on air, and I'm like, I did not realize he had that many.
This defense is they're really bringing it together here. Like I said, you make a big impact draft pick like one of them guys from Georgia in the pickups you made, Levi Wallace and Miles Jack, and this defense is really coming together. Offensive line's coming together. Your backfield is good. It's the quarterback and receivers that, again, are my Achilles heel.
I think they'll be fine with Trubisky. Receiver, the Steelers have a way of drafting wide receivers. It's uncanny.
Right.
You just look at that list from Mike Wallace, Emmanuel Sanders, A.B., Hines Ward, Johnson, Claypool. They just find them all throughout the draft.
I just hope they do something, though, because, like I said, you already have 5 receivers. We counted 5 receivers.
Yeah, but they always bring in more.
Right.
You know that. They bring in more. And
the preseason
even if they get someone in the draft, like, hey, you have to not only have to plan for the draft for this year, also for next year down the line, too.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll take this guy in the second round. He might not play a lot this year, but next year, boom, he has that experience and he's ready to go.
Now, with that being said, I personally am very optimistic about Mitch Trubisky, and I have been, but the fact that the receivers are, in my opinion,
average
is what's going to make Mitch Trubisky be average. If you watch a lot of these highlight films from him in Chicago, Look at the work that these receivers put into catching these balls. I can't imagine the group of guys we have, with the exception of Claypool, making a lot of the catches, because he bombs it down, or he's 50, 60 yards down the field. He puts it right over their shoulder. Sometimes they have to dive. Sometimes, but the group of guys that we have, I don't know if this group can do what they did in Chicago. And in my opinion, anybody could do what they do in Chicago, right?
I don't know. They had some good receivers over there, especially like Allen Robinson. Dude was talk about one of the underrated players in the league. But I think the offense is going to be better than people think, because now that offensive line is now upgraded.
The thing is, you have to be, not only good, but you have to be consistently good in the NFL. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's the thing that I've noticed over the past 10 years or so. We've been okay. We've had good teams, but you have to be consistent. You can't be good one week and then shit the bed the next week. That's what separates the Steelers from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
And these other teams that are starting to be the Buffalo Bills, they're starting to be consistently good. That's what separates us. We have to find players that are going to be consistently good. We have to get the mindset that we're going to be consistently good, and every single week has to be a big game that, in the mind of the players, we have to win this game, because all games are important.
Yeah.
And that's something that I haven't seen from the Steelers in the past 5-10 years, but we have to be able to do.
I think they're going to surprise. You know what? I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to say 9-7. Or wait, we can't be 9-7 anymore. 9-8. 9-8. Or how many games do they play now? 17?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't math. So 10-7, 9-8. And Cups on the playoffs. I think they sneak in, and I think they do get out of the first round. Like if Trubisky, continues to move along the way he did in Chicago, he showed promise. He got them to the playoffs. I think they're gonna do well this year.
There's so many things that this team does that drives me nuts. I can remember watching the Steelers as a younger person, and and when they were consistently good. Now, I'm not talking about just having winning seasons, just not having a losing season. I'm talking about these teams where every year they got a little bit better. They got a little bit closer to what they wanted to do, and you watch these teams really develop over time. And this team hasn't displayed that. And that's why I've known that this team wasn't going to do well in the playoffs. That's why I know this team wasn't going to win no championships. There's a certain momentum that you need to build in the NFL. And this team hasn't had it. They go out, like I said, last year in week 1, and they have an amazing win over Buffalo. And then I don't recall who the next 2 or 3 games were, but they shit the bed. You have to be consistent in this league. You have to be. And if you're not, who's the most consistent team in the league the past 3 or 4 years? The Kansas City Chiefs. They've been consistent. Every week when you play the Chiefs, you knew it was going to be the hardest game of the season for you.
Well, yeah.
When you play the Pittsburgh Steelers, I guarantee people don't feel that anymore.
Well, yeah. This team, it got old, and now they're rebuilding too. They don't want to say it, but they are. And you look at the guys they brought in. They brought in Steeler players. They got rid of people like Juju. He was a fan favorite, but he was more about the life.
Right. He's a cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what he wanted to be.
Right.
It's like, oh, look at these. They have pretty stalls. They have pretty locker rooms. Who gives a fuck about the locker room, dude?
Right.
Show up and do your job.
He should be a Dallas Cowboy, in my opinion.
But he goes to Kansas City.
Yeah.
So hopefully Kansas City sucks this year.
But Miles Jack is a Steeler.
Yes.
Guys like this, they're Steelers, and I'm happy, and I'm glad that they're finally bringing Steelers into play football.
Yeah. And so tune in. Oh, next Monday after the draft, you're gonna hear a fired up Mike, because I live for the NFL draft. I've hated every single draft pick we've had for the past 10 years, and I've been wrong on just about every single one of them.
Yeah, big stuff, guys. Hey, real quick before we take off for the day, I promoted the show earlier for the April 29th rap show down in Washington, but I forgot to mention the artists.
Yes.
Fucking kill me, right?
Yes.
So we have at that show, now this is going to be Hit 'em Hard Presents the Young Fly Flashy Reloaded Showdown on April 29th at 13 West Chestnut Street, Washington, PA. $10 again in. It's going to be 8 to 12. It's going to feature Tempo, FYF.
All right.
Lil Bambino, the Splash
Awesome.
Gang. Stickman Slick.
Nice.
Cigarellos.
Nice.
Jump Off JD.
Nice.
LBR Trap.
Awesome.
BMM Mizzle.
No way.
And
awesome.
J Money 2 Real. There's another rapper that he's from the area as well.
Okay.
We don't cover much. We haven't
yeah.
had a chance to talk to, but so I mean that lineup, guys, is enough.
If he's in with that lineup, he's good.
Yeah, so you're gonna want to get down there.
Yes.
Everybody, thank you so much. This is our Monday night show, episode 51. And keep tuning in, and we'll be back tomorrow. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Tomorrow, everyone, have a good night.